End of November is the time of the year when I start to look at summarizing the 11 months gone by and start preparing for the year ahead. On the same lines, for my update today, I will be breaking it up into three big components, and we'll start with where we are in our fight against COVID. What have been the key developments in the month of November that we should be looking out for as we prepare for 2021? And lastly, I'll stick my neck out and make some projections of how I think 2021 could shape up. Greetings, viewers. You're watching Aman Sangha, independent investment advisor in Mississauga, Ontario. We'll start with an update of COVID. And what you see in front of you is a graph that levels the playing field across different populations as it averages the number of cases by 100,000 of the given population. Now, what you can see here is that the trend has been upwards, specifically in North America, US, as well as Canada. Now, what this means is that we're probably setting up ourselves for a grim winter. And not only is the number of cases rising, not only in the two countries in North America, but worldwide, but also we've seen a sharp acceleration in the death rate. Now, authorities are going to respond to this by putting in lockdowns and restrictions on businesses. So the economic data, the Q4 economic data, when it comes out in early 2021, would not make for a pretty reading. And it will definitely cause some short-term volatility in the markets. But I think there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that sets me up into my second topic of what were the key developments in the month of November. And the biggest one, which was really a big announcement, was that there is a vaccine, and not only there is one vaccine, but there are many vaccines on their way to the market. Pfizer vaccine has already been approved for use in the UK, and there could be an approval from FDA for vaccine use in the US, probably in the later half of December. So it looks like things are going to get a lot better. Now, what this announcement for vaccine did was it had a significant impact on the financial markets. The economic impact will still take time, but the financial markets are already reflecting that data, and I'll start to go through them quickly. So the first one was the Dow Jones. It hit the psychological high mark of 30,000. This is the first time in the Dow's history. S&P 500 and MSCI World, they had their best month in all the years going back to 1988. And this is remarkable for both the indexes. And followed by this was a significant sector rotation. It's on its way. And for the first time, for a conceivable period going back 20 years, we are seeing that value has outperformed growth in a significant way this month. And there were outflows from gold into the equity markets. So this is a significant development and we see the shift of money coming towards risky assets. Also, what we saw here with the news of the vaccine was an uptick in the US yields. Now, if you're a bond investor, now this is not something you want to see because this is not good for your bond portfolio, but we are seeing the bond yields and the spreads trend upwards. Now, apart from vaccine, there was a second significant development which probably got drowned in the soap opera that has been the US announcement of the US presidential election results. And that was the largest free trade agreement in the world was signed between 15 countries with China at its helm. Now, this is going to propel the world GDP in years to come, and it has shifted the economic center from outside the US towards another part of the world. So just before I move on to my 2020 outlook, I want to summarize the year that was. So November was a good month. And what that has meant is that all the major indexes are now sitting in positive territory, positioned for a very good end to the year, and which is remarkable that we are seeing the results in where in the earlier part of the year, we had seen a steep, the fastest drawdown in the history of the financial markets. So with that, I just want to move on to the next part. So, okay, so big picture, what does this mean? Where are we? How does it look like going forward? Now, if you look at this chart in front of you, the gray line is how the world GDP would have unfolded or grown had there been no pandemic. Now, 2020 was the year of the virus, and we took a big hit in terms of world GDP, the sharp drawdown. There has been recoveries, especially on the financial markets, but we are not where we should have been. So there's a big gap. Where we are kind of at a fork in the road. Now, it could play out different ways. If the vaccine does not prove to be effective or it cannot be administered quickly enough, we could have a double dip here, or we could be in this period of economic uncertainty for a long period of time. But on the positive side, if the vaccine is effective, or if it's closely as effective as it's supposed to be, we would see an uptick in the world GDP growth along this middle path here. And there is a third scenario, a later fork in the road that could open up is a further uptick in the economic activity. I just want to delve on that for a quick minute. And I want to share the screen with you, which shares what has been the real income that households have been earning, as well as the disposable income. Now, this is specific to Canada, but it has parallels in all countries where there has been a strong fiscal and monetary stimulus, and the governments propelling or supporting their economies and their businesses and families in unprecedented ways. So this is the first recession on record where we've seen that despite a recession, the household savings rate has gone up. Now, what this means is that there is a lot of cash that has been sitting on the sidelines. And you put this in the context of a vaccine that is really effective and can contain the virus. All this cash is likely to come out and come into the economy, hit the GDP growth, help boost the GDP growth numbers, and thereby help the financial markets even further. So I want to just conclude my session by saying, I don't think we are out of the woods yet. There could be a short-term volatility and a period of uncertainty, especially in the first half of 2021. But assuming that the virus is the vaccine is effective, 2021 could turn out to be the year of the vaccine. And it could help propel us even forward and propel the economies forward, propel the financial markets forward. So if any of this appeals to you and you want to benefit from it, you should relook at your portfolios. If you need help reevaluating your portfolios and think of how they're going to look like going forward, you know the number to call, 905-363-5035. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now, and I'll be back with my December update.